Hello and welcome. Not in a big way, just welcome. If you're listening to this in January and wondering why you still feel tired, foggy, emotionally sideways, or like your body just missed the memo about a new year, this episode is for you. There's this expectation that once the holidays end, everything resets, like exhaustion politely packs its bags on December 31st. Like the nervous system checks the calendar and goes, okay, we're done now. But a lot of us, especially if you live with chronic illness, this part of the year isn't a beginning. It's the aftermath. The quiet crash after pushing through. The body finally exhaling once it's safe to stop performing. The emotional residue of showing up when it costs more than you had. January doesn't feel fresh to everyone. Sometimes it feels like limping out of a crowded room and sitting on the floor because standing suddenly feels optional. If that's you, you're not late. You're responding. This episode isn't about goals or resolutions or becoming a better version of yourself. It's about naming what comes after survival. Because the aftermath counts. Let's talk about the fog. Not the poetic kind, the kind where your brain technically works, but only in theory. Brain fog doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just quietly rearranges reality. You forget words you've used your whole life. You open your phone and forget why you picked it up. You reread messages and think, I don't remember sending this, but apparently I did. And sometimes it shows up like this. Okay, so I needed to leave the house. Nothing urgent, just a normal task. And I go to grab my keys. They're not there. So I do the normal thing. I check the usual spot, then I check the other usual spot, and I check that other usual spot. Then I check the place where I never put them, but hope maybe this time I did. Still, no keys. Well, at this point, my brain decides we are now in crisis documentary. I'm retracing steps, mentally replaying yesterday, checking coat pockets I haven't worn in weeks, opening drawers like keys might have developed legs and chosen chaos. 10 minutes go by. 10. And then I look back at the original spot, the first place I checked. And there they are, exactly where I left them. The keys never moved. My brain just didn't register them. And for a second, I just stood there because this is the part people don't talk about. It's not dramatic enough to panic, and it's not serious enough to explain to someone else. But it costs time, it costs energy, and it puts you behind before you even start. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because if I didn't, I could feel the frustration turning sharp. And the laugh wasn't joy, it was survival. If you've had moments like that, you're not broken, your brain is tired, your system is overloaded, and this kind of fog is a very common aftermath of stress, illness, and overstimulation. Nothing about it means you failed. There's a specific kind of humor that develops when your body does not cooperate. It's not the loud kind, it's not for applause. It's the quiet internal kind that sounds like, well, this tracks. Like laughing when you realize you're late because your brain temporarily deleted the concept of keys. Or when somebody asks, did you have a nice holiday? And you're standing there thinking, define nice. Humor doesn't fix brain fog, it doesn't magically restore energy, but it creates a tiny bit of space between you and the frustration. It keeps the moment from swallowing you whole. Sometimes the humor is just saying, okay, that happened, and I'm still here. And yes, it can be irritating because laughing doesn't give you those 10 minutes back. It doesn't undo the delay or the stress spike or the feeling of being behind again. But it does keep the moment from turning into self-blame, and that matters more than people realize. If you're in the aftermath right now, I just want to say that there is no deadline for recovery. January does not require productivity, it does not demand motivation, and it does not get to decide when you should feel better. Your body is not malfunctioning because it needs rest. Your brain is not weak because it needs time. And sometimes the most functional thing you can do is stop pushing. If today felt slower than you expected, that doesn't mean you failed. If your brain missed something obvious, well, that doesn't mean you weren't paying attention. If all you did was get through the day, that still counts. Before we close, let's do something small. If you can, unclench your jaw, drop your shoulders, take one slow breath. Not a fixing breath, just a noticing one. You made it through something, even if no one else saw it. And if all you do right now is recover from what you survived, that's enough. This is the aftermath, and it counts. Thank you for listening, and please take care of yourself this week.